Insta360, the makers of the original Flow, which was an incredibly powerful, super easy to use 3-axis gimbal that fit inside your pocket. And if you don't know what a 3-axis gimbal is, essentially it's like a robot chicken for your hands. And now we have the Flow Pro, and I want to show you how this all-new 3-axis gimbal is going to enable far higher quality video than before, but also opens itself up to a whole host of new use cases that did not exist before. And that's what we're going to talk about right now. From a physical design perspective, very little has changed. So we still have that fast fold-out mechanism and the built-in tripod feet, as well as the extendable selfie stick in order to get longer shots, the tilting head to get more obscure longer shots. Overall, just a great user-friendly design that you can easily stow in a pocket or a purse or a backpack. Anything bigger than a pocket, because it fits in a pocket. They both utilize the same magnetic mount, so you can just clip these right onto your phone. However, now, instead of relying necessarily on these kind of spring-loaded, stretchy phone clamps, they've also created this, and it is my favorite thing. This is just a MagSafe adapter. So if you even just own a Flow and you're not interested in a Flow Pro, if you're an iOS user, I strongly suggest getting the MagSafe adapter, because this is going to just stick right onto the back of your phone, and then your phone is going to stick right there. And it's going to be balanced in the most optimal position, but also you don't just have things obstructing buttons or sliding around. You just kind of have that peace of mind that when you put it on, it's going to be on in the right place. Another big update with the Flow Pro is the addition of NFC One-Tap Pairing. So all you need to do is just stick your phone against the base of the gimbal right here, and you're going to get a pop-up allowing you to connect your device and thus your apps within DockKit to the gimbal itself. And along that same base of the gimbal here where the NFC pairing is, we also have a new ring LED, and that's going to let us know when the gimbal is or isn't tracking. So if I just hit the trigger on the back here, it should just light up, it'll see me, and it just gives you the confidence to know that the gimbal is looking at what it should be looking at. And then, you can do a little side-to-side test just to make sure it's still working. All right, well, let's get out of the studio and actually go over some of these new features. The new Insta360 Flow Pro is the very first product that integrates with Apple's new API called DockKit, also their continuity camera API. And so this means that the tracking that was previously available only through the Insta360 app is now going to work across like over 200 different apps on your phone. Essentially, if your phone is using the camera, then it's going to be able to track you. And this works in the native camera app, the Blackmagic camera app. I'm currently using the Final Cut camera app. And this is amazing because the new iPhone 15 Pro, which came out a couple months after the Flow, includes an incredible ProRes 10-bit 422 log codec. And up until this point, I would have to choose between using the native camera app in the phone to get that log footage, but lose the benefits of tracking, or get the benefits of tracking, but lose the higher quality codec inside of the phone. Well, no more. Now you get tracking, high quality footage in a package that fits inside your pockets. Hi, Davey.
Hi.
I called you for a couple of reasons.
Okay.
One is to talk to you about carrots, but it also extends beyond that. So this is things like YouTube Live and Instagram Live, as well as Skype, FaceTime, just regular kind of webcam-y activities.
Go that way.
But then you're gonna see this big light. We just gaffed a bag up to the ceiling, and then we kind of made a little book light in here. This is the slide pod. This is the slide pod holding it back. And then if we just pop down here, we got just a light, just a little guy bouncing in there. And now
it is really soft.
Yeah, it is. Look, you can barely even see any hotspots. Another update which makes the tracking all that much more functional in this is the new 360-degree panning. So essentially what this means is there is no limit to how much your pan can spin here. A lot of these gimbals, including the Flow, including every real mobile gimbal I've ever used, has a limit to this pan. But with this, you could set this up in the middle of a classroom while you're, I don't know, teaching a lecture or something, and you can just walk laps, both intellectually and physically, around your students, and the camera would be able to keep tracking with you and filming all the way around. There are a whole bunch of things you can do with a gimbal like this and a phone like that. In fact, one of the primary ways that I use it isn't as a run and gun, sprint around with a gimbal kind of thing, but I like to use the quarter 20. The gimbal and phone are both so lightweight that you can use pretty much any friction arm, or I like to use Insta360's Moto mount clamp, and you can clamp this to a whole bunch of different spots that you wouldn't normally be easily able to rig other cameras to, and certainly not other gimbals with other cameras to. And from there, you can either use it like an action camera, or you can use it like a security camera that's tracking things in the frame. So while utilizing that quarter 20, you're able to mount this in really as many ways as your imagination can come up with. The tracking is fantastic. They've done such a good job with these algorithms, and I would even say the algorithms in the Insta360 app are a few steps ahead of what Apple's doing with that DockKit API. However, it is important to know that this has been developed for iOS 18, which we're not yet on. So I imagine once iOS 18 becomes publicly available, we'll start seeing more updates to Apple's algorithms as well, hoping to get it closer to what Insta360 has been able to do. However, it isn't just the tracking that the Insta360 app has going for it. There are a whole host of features and options inside of their app that you're going to want to have a look at. You can create really dynamic time lapses by easily setting an in and an out point to your time lapses. And you just leave your phone recording, boom, time lapse. You can also shoot the easiest hyperlapse you'll ever shoot. Find an object off in the distance, select a box around that object, and then just walk. They also have another feature in there called Shot Genie, which is kind of like a storyboard slash template that's going to teach you how to build sequences of various events. So you can either like just say into the app what you're looking for, or they have a whole bunch of different examples that you can pull from. So like going on a hike with my pet, cooking lunch, cleaning the house. And then you select that. It's going to give you ideas for like a 5 to 10 shot sequence with a variety of types of camera movements, static shots, to create something that, if you're just getting started, is going to be very helpful. There's an old saying that says something like, the best camera is the one you have with you. And of course that's true, because if you don't have a camera with you, your pictures are going to suck. But as phones have progressed year over year, the quality that they're coming out with now is astounding. This iPhone 15 Pro is better than any small camera I've ever owned. It's got a higher quality bit rate and codec, 3 different focal lengths, and then to top that off, when you consider something like the Insta360 Flow Pro, which is less than half the price of a Go 3, their introductory action camera, the amount of shots and the quality of shots you can get with this package here is unlike anything human history has ever seen. So if you do want to find out more about the new Insta360 Flow Pro, or if you're a Flow owner who just wants to look into that MagSafe adapter, go click the link down in the description, find out more. This is such a underrated tool, and the value for the money is just off the charts. I don't even have a chart. That's how far off the charts they are. Thanks for watching. Love you. I love you. Right? Yeah.